Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is one of the most highly anticipated racing games to come out within the next few years. But there is still a lot of uncertainty around the game and a lot of things that members of the Test Drive Unlimited community are still confused about. And in today's video, I wanted to go over everything we know so far about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Now, before I get into this, I want to clarify what I mean by everything we know so far. When I say everything we know so far, I mean everything that is confirmed so far. I'm not going to be spreading around rumors or community suggestions of what should be in the game. I'm going to be saying exactly everything we know so far that has been confirmed by the developers, and that is it. No rumors, no speculation, facts 100%. Starting off with the developer and publisher. So, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is going to be developed by Kiloton Racing. They're a French game studio and they have developed multiple racing games in the past, such as the WRC Rally series and the TT Isle of Man games. Personally, I'm a big fan of the WRC games. I used to play them a lot back on even PlayStation 3, and I felt that the games were really fun, and considering how those games played, I'm excited to see what they take with Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. The publisher is Nacon. Nacon is another French company, and they have published many racing games in the past as well. They've published the WRC series, and they also published the FIA Euro Truck Racing. Now, personally, I've never played the Euro Truck Racing game, but I would imagine that it's a good game, and I'm excited to see how the partnership between Kiloton and Nacon works out in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Now, good news for TDU fans. The director for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown has worked on the previous TDU games. This is excellent news for everybody because it means that we're not going to be having everyone who is super unfamiliar with the series and trying to take it to a crazy different, atmosphere and feeling to TDU 1 and 2. So, very good news that we're going to have some of the same minds from the previous games working on TDUSC. But at the same time, as well, you have people who haven't worked on the studio, which is actually a good thing as well, because the mixing of people who worked on the game before and fresh new ideas typically ends pretty well, so I'm excited to see how this turns out. Let's talk about the game's physics real quick. The game will use a version of Kiloton's physics from the WRC games. I'm assuming what's going to happen is the physics model and driving model from the WRC games is going to be slightly modified and changed a little bit for more of a focus on on-road racing, but still keeping the really strong aspects of the WRC Rally games for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown's off-road sections. This is going to be very good news for us as, the WRC games have great handling, and TDU 1 and 2 weren't exactly famous for their world-class handling, so I'm really excited to see where they take this. Let's talk about the map real quick. Now, there is no confirmed location of the map, but what we know so far is that they are recreating a real-life island at a 1-to-1 scale, and that it will be an island that is very expansive and vibrant. So, take from that what you will, but I have a feeling that this is going to turn out in a very similar way to TDU2, and we know from the past that the Test Drive Unlimited maps have been fantastic, and I'm very excited to see, what turns out for TDUSC. Let's talk about some of the cars real quick. Now, there are only a few confirmed brands that have been 100% confirmed, but we all know that just these confirmed brands are not the only brands that are going to be in the game. Starting off with the confirmed brands, we have Apollo, Bugatti, Dodge, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, and Koenigsegg. These are all, excellent manufacturers, and I'm personally really excited to see Apollo in the game. So let's talk about some of the gameplay features that we know will be in the game. From the trailer and some job postings that have been seen online, we know that cars are going to be able to have opening and closing doors, as well as, the same for windows. Turn signals are going to be in the game. Windshield wipers will move. This is something that has been in most recent racing games, windshield wipers, and, good to be here. So all of these cool little animations for cars is something that was in TDU2, and it's, one of those things that while it's not 100% officially confirmed, but from the job postings and the trailer, it's like a 99.9% chance that they will be in the game. Looking at the release schedule for TDU Solar Crown real quickly, there is no confirmed release date whatsoever. From the trailer that we got in the past, we know that the game was still in early development at that point. But one thing that is interesting is that from a interview with the head of Kiloton, we know that Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown will most likely have a 5-year development cycle. And while we don't know exactly when, the game started development, a lot of people have been floating around the idea that 2017 was the time. But personally, I don't believe that. I think that's far too early. I think that if the game had started development in 2017 and it's 2021 now, the game would be almost done and we would be seeing so much more about the game. We would at least know like where the game is taking place and see, some gameplay maybe, possibly. And for the fact that, for those 5 years, if it started in 2017 and we only have a CGI trailer, that personally just doesn't fit right at all with me, and I think that the game is much earlier in development than that. Personally, I feel like the game probably started development in even probably 2019 or even 2020 for that matter. I mean, who knows? We don't know when the game had started development, so if we take into account that 5-year development cycle, and let's be conservative here and say that the game started development in 2018 or 2019. Just add 5 years onto that, and that's when you would roughly get a release date for the game. Personally, myself, I'm thinking more around a mid-2023 release date for me. I think that makes sense from everything we've seen so far, and the fact that we know Kiloton wants to take their time with this game and not mess it up and give us the best game possible on release. And I think that is honestly the best thing that they could do. We don't want a bad version of, GDO 2.5. We want a full sequel to Test Drive Unlimited 2 that is just even better than that game and will really be able to use all of the next-gen technology from the new consoles, as well as all of the power that high-end PCs have these days. We are going to be able to experience a crazy new level of open-world racing. So everyone, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one.